I don't even know if it's working. Oh, we are live. Okay, cool. It is working. Okay. Okay. Make sure everything looks good. Everything looks good there. Okay. So it's working. Yep. All right. So what we're doing today is a little different. I just finished a playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 2. This is what I'm listening to, by the way. Enjoy it. Just finished a playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 2 not too long ago, and I want to start a playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 3. I have that all ready to go, but I decided I kind of want to watch the lore of Kingdom Hearts so far. Hopefully I can watch up until the end, like up until 3, and then I can play 3 and experience it, you know. I know some things of 3 here and there, but I've never beaten it. And so I was like, I kind of want to. I didn't change anything on Twitch, so everything just said Sephiroth and Final Boss. Well, oops. Oopsies. Oh well. It'll be fine. I'll watch it on Twitch anyways, right? So that's what we're doing today. We're gonna watch and react to the lore so far, and there's a couple different ways you can do it. And I could go through each game and watch each, like, all the cutscenes and stuff. That would take several hours per game, and there's so many games, like 13 or so. What I did is I found someone that made a video explaining all of it, all the lore and everything so far. So we're just gonna react to that. It's still long. It's like 6 hours, but I mean, so it'll take probably a couple streams, couple sessions to watch. But shout out to Suggestive Gaming. This is the channel that he's the one that made it. So please go and like subscribe to him, follow him on all his platforms, everything like that. Hopefully he doesn't mind me reacting to his content. I don't think I'm big enough and get enough views for it to really matter what it is. So, but the link to his channel is in the description, or you can search it yourself. Either way, definitely show him some love. From what I've seen of his stuff, it's really good. So, well done. Being said, it's a long video, six hours. So go ahead, dive into it.
With Kingdom Hearts 4 on the horizon, bringing a new Lost Master arc for the series, I, Suggestive Gaming, figured now would be a great time to revisit a franchise I covered over 6 years ago here on the channel. This time, I've got more experience under my belt, and I will go much more in depth, covering things I breezed over or simply left out in my first attempt, namely the mobile installment Kingdom Hearts Union Cross Dark Road. Additionally, the franchise has seen multiple new releases since my original video, so if you've already seen it, this will definitely be worth another watch. Now, before we begin, since Kingdom Hearts has a famously complex and involved storyline, I'm going to skip over a lot of small details to try to keep things as straightforward and easy to follow as possible. Unfortunately, this will include skipping over the majority of the protagonists of Kingdom Hearts' various journeys across worlds inspired by and depicting various Disney franchises. Generally speaking, adventures through the Disney worlds in the Kingdom Hearts franchise weave through the plot lines of their respective source material. So I'll bring up the plot relevant details as they occur, but if you want the full Disney experience, you'll have to play through the games yourself. Also, while I'll be covering the mobile games that have actually been released, I will not be covering the story of the upcoming Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. While the game's beta has revealed some preliminary plot details, I'm not going to touch that story until it's completely told.
So we'll definitely have to check that out. He says he doesn't do it in this. I'm not even sure. I think it came out. Not sure it came out, but it definitely did. I remember hearing about it. So we'll have to separately after we get through this, we'll go through. Also, I don't really know how much I'll be pausing it and talking about it, but we'll see.
Another note is that the Kingdom Hearts series often uses the Greek letter chi, which the games pronounce indistinguishably with the English word key. In my last video, I referred to something called the Keyblade as the X-Blade to differentiate it from the series' many similarly sounding but differently spelled Keyblades. This made a lot of purists very mad, so this time around I'm going to pronounce it as Keyblade. So use those visual aids, context clues, or closed captions to determine which I'm actually talking about. I'm also very well aware of other mispronunciations I made on my first go-around, which I'm going to try my very best to rectify with this attempt. But I'm a single person doing all of this in addition to a full-time job, so sometimes I make mistakes. I'm sorry in advance. One final thing I want to mention is that this video would not have been possible without the incredible Kingdom Hearts community. I used various guides, enhancements, and mods in creating this video, including one made specifically for me by the incredible Dallin1016. So I'd like to encourage everyone to check out the description where I've detailed all of the resources I utilized in creating this video.
So, that being said, go to this video in his channel and check all that out.
Before we begin this massive dive into the world of Kingdom Hearts, I'd like to quickly thank today's sponsor, NordVPN.
We're gonna watch it. We're definitely gonna watch it.
Have you ever felt like the Heartless might
be
lurking
I'm gonna walk
in
away
the
for a second.
internet's darkest corners, ready to snatch your personal data? Well, think of NordVPN like your trusty Keyblade, keeping those dangers at bay so you can explore safely. NordVPN uses top-tier encryption to protect your online activity, so nobody, whether it's your internet provider or some shady figure in a black coat, can see what you're up to. NordVPN's got thousands of super-fast servers worldwide, which means you can virtually connect and unlock region-locked content, just like Sora opening new worlds with his Keyblade. Whether you're binging your favorite shows, downloading new games, or connecting with friends, you'll experience minimal buffering and maximum security. NordVPN works across multiple devices too, so if you're switching from your computer to your phone, you'll be covered. Best of all, they don't track or keep any logs of what you do online, giving you the peace of mind knowing that your privacy is actually, private. And if all of that isn't enough to make you feel safer online, NordVPN goes above and beyond what other VPNs provide, giving you additional tools like malware and phishing protection, fake shop scam detection, and they even monitor data leaks on the dark web to automatically alert you if your login information has been compromised. So if you're ready to explore a more secure internet, check out NordVPN today. Take a look at the special link in the description. Signing up not only supports the channel, but also unlocks a whole new level of online safety with a 30-day money-back guarantee.
/ suggested gaming
for sponsoring this video.
I like how he related everything back to Kingdom Hearts for that. That was cool.
This is what you need to know
That's a good ad read.
about the Key series and Darkseeker saga of Kingdom Hearts.
Great intro.
Our story begins in the Age of Fairy Tales, where the world's inhabitants are warmed by the power of light, provided by Kingdom Hearts, the heart of all worlds.
Mm-hmm.
This light is protected by the legendary Keyblade, a key that could unlock Kingdom Hearts. However, as some begin to fight over its control, darkness is born in their hearts. The darkness soon begins to spread, swallowing the light inside of people's hearts, separating their hearts from them and creating monsters called Heartless. At some point during the conflict between light and darkness, the Keyblade is shattered into 20 pieces, 7 of light and 13 of darkness. Without it,
Okay, so there's seven pieces of light, 13 pieces of darkness, which also represent the Keyblade, the X-Blade. I always call it the X-Blade. Whatever. Gotcha. I'm gonna get so lost during this, but I'm not gonna rewind it.
its protector, Kingdom Hearts then disappears into the darkness. A young man studies the legendary Keyblade and learns how to forge new similar light-powered blades by extracting them from others' hearts. These blades are
metal.
then similarly called Keyblades. Their
Not
creator,
confusing.
later known as the Master of Masters,
Mhm.
then finds himself in a world called Daybreak Town, where he creates his own Keyblade, one with no name, which contains his gazing eye, allowing him to see anything the eye witnesses in the future.
I remember that Keyblade from Birth by Sleep, I think, is what it initially came from.
Assembling these visions from the future, the Master of Masters creates the Book of Prophecies, foretelling a great Keyblade war in which darkness will prevail. To combat the overwhelming power of the growing darkness, the Master of Masters recruits 6 apprentices.
Okay, so this Master of Masters, he wants balance? Or does he want darkness to, he said to prevent the darkness from overtaking, right? So like, I guess he's a good guy.
Each apprentice is then given an important task by the Master of Masters, with 5 of them given a copy of
Dude,
the
they look
Book of
cool.
Prophecies. The 6th, Lushu, is given the unique task of taking the Master's Gazing Eye Keyblade to hand down through the generations, through a ceremony of Keyblade inheritance known as bequeathing. Bequeathing. Queeth. TH. This ensures
bequeathing.
that the Gazing Eye will see the events that allow the Master
Bequeathing.
of Masters to write the Book of Prophecies. Additionally, Lushu is given a large black box and is instructed to keep it safe and out of sight.
What do you think's in the box?
The contents of this box, while unknown, are referred to by the elusive Master as simply Hope.
Hope.
It's like Pandora's box. The Master of Masters then forms 5 competing unions of young Keyblade wielders, each to be led by the other 5 apprentices.
This is where Union X comes into play.
Who are then called the Foretellers. One of them, Ira, is designated the leader of the Foretellers in the event of the Master's absence.
He looks like a
He
leader.
is tasked with maintaining order and calm amongst the group, despite the prophecy of the Keyblade War looming above their heads. His leadership is challenged by the weight of this prediction, as well as the Master of Masters' sudden disappearance, which thrusts him into his new role as leader.
Okay.
Envy is assigned the role of observer and mediator, ensuring harmony among the apprentices. She grapples with the heavy responsibility of her role, especially in the Master's absence, and struggles with the emerging tensions within the group. Ased is the enforcer, meant to support Ira in his new role.
Makes sense, he's
but
a bear.
becomes increasingly skeptical and aggressive. He proposes forming alliances among the unions, contrary to the Master's teachings, to prepare
Don't
against
do
the
it.
darkness. His skeptical actions create further discord and suspicion among the apprentices. These rumblings aren't helped by the task Gula is given, which is identifying a traitor among the apprentices, using
Ooh,
a
that's a
lost
cool-
page from the Book of Prophecies. This role
That's
leads
a
him
cool
to
mask.
mistrust and conflict with the others, particularly Ased, who feels
Oh, shit.
betrayed by Gula's silence and actions. Finally, Ava is tasked with
Ava.
gathering exceptional
Not
Keyblade
gonna remember
wielders
any of
from
those
the
names.
unions and forming a group of children called the Dandelions, trained to keep the light alive within their hearts in the wake of the Keyblade War by being sent
Dandelions?
away before it begins.
Is it a mobile game?
Ava faces a moral dilemma between
don't
adhering
remember.
to the Master's teachings and her desire to prevent the impending conflict from occurring in the first place.
Those definitely look like player-made characters, though. Like those are base characters that you could be in like an MMO. Throwing that out there.
As tensions rise, the apprentices' suspicions and accusations against each other grow. Ased's aggressive stance leads to physical confrontations, particularly with Envy, who remains committed to
shoot.
protecting the balance as instructed by the Master. The search for the traitor intensifies when Gula reveals the existence of the lost page, deepening the divide among the apprentices, each struggling with their roles and the Master's cryptic instructions.
Like it was that cryptic, to be honest.
During this period, a child who we'll refer to as the player is given their own Keyblade along with the decision to join one of the 5
Man, I'm
unions.
good. I told you.
Afterward, the player meets their Chirithi, a creature
This visually looks like a mobile game.
called a Dream Eater created by the Master of
Ooh, the Dream
Masters
Eater.
to guide and assist the Keyblade wielders. The player quickly learns how to use their Keyblade to fight the heartless
Same
creatures
face.
of darkness, collecting fragments of light called Lux in their wake.
Lux.
The player is then taken to various other worlds to cleanse them of their darkness to collect more Lux.
Okay.
Soon, the player's Chirithi meets another, who
Your objective in this game right now is to go from world to world collecting Lux, which is like light.
whose respective Keyblade wielders' heart had fallen to darkness. Due to their connection, the Dream Eater is also overtaken by darkness, turning it into a nightmare. This nightmare Chirithi begins to interfere with the player, posing as their Chirithi to secretly influence them to empower the forces of darkness. One night, these dueling Dream Eaters influence the sleeping player's dreams, showing them a vision of the Master of Masters speaking to the foretellers inside Daybreak Town's giant central clock tower. The next day, the player meets another Keyblade wielder and a member of a different union named Ephemer. The boy then reveals that the worlds visited by the Keyblade wielders are no more than projections of faraway lands, which simply allow them to gather Lux quickly. Ephemer expresses his desire to learn more about the Foreteller's plans, and the player shares his vision of the Foreteller's chambers. The pair then agree to work together to find a way
He looks
inside
cool.
the clock tower.
He looks way cooler than
agreeing
my
to meet
character.
there at a later time.
In my character, the main, you know what I mean.
Shortly after, Ephemer approaches Master Ava and begins to question the Master of Masters' cryptic
wow.
plan.
It looks way different like this. What the heck? This is how the game should look the whole time. Looks. Actually, you know what? I don't know if he looks better. More like a child, actually. Visually looks. Graphically,
During
it
their
looks way better though.
conversation, the boy also tells Ava about a friend he met from another union, sparking a discussion about their shared wish that one day the unions can work together instead of competing against one another. Sometime later, the player has another dream, this time in which they see Ephemer waiting for them in the clock tower.
Ephemer.
Upon awakening, the player decides to search the clock tower against their Chirithi's wishes. There, instead of finding Ephemer, the player finds Master Ava. Ava tests the player's abilities before sending them home, taking note and realizing that they are the friend Ephemer had told her about. After the player returns home and goes back to sleep, Master Ava arrives at their quarters to speak with their Chirithi. After the Dream Eater denies showing the player the vision of Ephemer, Ava reveals that Ephemer had fallen into an unchained state and is now in a different realm. She then surmises that the boy must have somehow reached out to his new friend from this other realm. Shortly after, the player meets another.
Like what? Switching between a mobile and a PS5 game? What's
Another
up, dude?
Keyblade wielder named
Hey, how did how'd the hanging out? How'd his birthday go? I guess I don't know if y'all did anything special. Like you said, y'all are like gonna do like a movie night, but I didn't know if you did anything else special for the little dude.
Skuld, who was also visited by Ephemer in a dream. In it, their mutual friend urged the girl to go with the player as the end of the world is near. The pair are then interrupted
Lord.
by the sound of the foretellers Envy and Ased clashing nearby. They rush to the clock tower where they find the nightmare Chirithy, finally turned to darkness, who claims their Keyblade wielder is nearby.
Isn't this kind of what like Maple Story looks like? Just Maple Story just looks more like chibi.
Skuld and the player continue into the tower and reach the foreteller's chambers, finding it empty. Before
Gotcha.
they can find any clues on Ephemer's whereabouts, their union's leader discovers the player. The foreteller tells them that Ephemer was simply using them before.
Totally looks like Maple Story. Yeah, see, I've seen some pictures. Never played the game, but I've seen some pictures. I'm gonna have a hard time remembering any of this, to be honest with you. It is not locking into my brain. I'll probably get the main little snippets of information and remember them, but oof.
he was taken care of. The angered player then battles their master to avenge their friend, but is quickly overpowered. Suddenly,
Yeah,
the
that
player
makes sense.
finds themselves back in the sewers beneath the clock tower, and their adversary is revealed to actually be Master Ava, testing them once again. The foreteller explains that she created the vision to test the strength of the pair's hearts. She then tells them about the purpose of the dandelions, revealing that she chose Ephemer to be the leader of one of the 5 unions after she and the other foretellers are eliminated in the Keyblade War. Ava further explains that he's now in a faraway place, awaiting his task to begin. Master Ava then invites the player and Skuld into the dandelions. While Skuld instantly accepts taking on the role of another union leader after the Keyblade War, the player decides to instead take some time to consider, knowing that joining would mean leaving everyone else behind to perish in the war. As the player and Skuld say their goodbyes before they go their separate ways,
Why wouldn't I
Master
join?
Ava calls
The
all of
heck?
her recruited dandelions to Daybreak Town's central fountain. There, she leads them in a speech, rallying them to carry the light into the future, leaving them the guiding motto of, "May your heart be your guiding key."
Yep.
Afterward,
What a reused statement in the whole series. May your heart be your guiding key. It's a cool statement. It's a cool little thing, little quote. Reading on subtitles and reading them helps me retain information so much better. Yeah, I'd probably do that for me too, but visually, I don't think that would look very good, like on stream. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
fights begin to break out between the unions after rumor over one of them falling to darkness begins to spread. As they begin to steal Lux from each other, the seeds of the Keyblade War are planted when Master Ased attacks the player.
That's a cool
Master
Keyblade.
Ira steps in, warning Skuld and the player to prepare themselves for the inevitable. The player then passes out, dreaming of a vision of the impending Keyblade War. When they awaken, the player finds Skuld, who reveals that Master Ava has disappeared, leading to further chaos among the unions. The pair decides to talk to Master Gula about where Ava might be, and he reveals that she's likely searching for Lushu, who disappeared at the same time the Master of Masters did. Meanwhile, Ava finds Lushu.
Which Lushu was the 6th one who was given Master of Masters Keyblade. And he was to basically what they called bequeath, with a TH, bequeath that Keyblade down the generations.
And he reveals his task to her.
his task is obviously to just sit there and enjoy life.
instructing that he cannot change the future, as his job is simply to watch it occur. Ava asks Lushu about the lost page, confronting him about being the traitor it predicted. Lushu tells her the truth, but she refuses to accept it, prompting Lushu to wield the Gazing Eye Keyblade he was given by the Master of Masters
See?
before the two duel. Elsewhere, Skuld decides it's time to join the Dandelions in the safe realm,
You think
asking
he
the player
sleeps
to
in
come
those
with
black
her.
robes? Yes.
While they decline, they do agree to consider
Absolutely.
staying out of the Keyblade War so they can join the Dandelions in the new world.
The
The two
dandelions
say their
are
goodbyes
like the
and split once again, leaving the player to
peacekeepers?
decide to stay out of the war.
or
Returning Nightmare Chirithy
oh shit, nightmare. Hmm. Interesting. So they're like the dandelions are they're just like, hey guys, I'm staying out of it. Interesting.
who then claims to be born from the darkness in the player's own heart, quickly taunts this decision. The player then fights off the darkness-fueled nightmare, severing the bond between the two. As the nightmare Chirithy disappears, it warns the player that it will see them in another dream. Meanwhile, another dandelion, and one chosen by Ava to lead the unions, begins to search for the player. This dandelion, named Strelitzia, had been secretly admiring the player and hopes to convince them to join the dandelions before it's too late. Searching in an abandoned house, Strelitzia is suddenly attacked, and the book given to her by Ava with the instructions on how to lead in the new world is stolen. After
Oh,
this
no.
unknown assailant leaves, the weakened Strelitzia's heart is then released as she disappears.
Didn't do a very good job.
A few days later, a massive war between the unions and their respective foretellers is raging on at an area called the Badlands. On the battlefield, the player is forced to fight each foreteller one-on-one, including Master Ava, who warns them to join the
One second. Let it keep playing.
Dandelions and go far, far away. The player then collapses from the efforts of their battle, and their Chirithy protects them as the Keyblade War rages on around them. It's at this point that Skuld awakens in the future, finding herself in a desolate world in the wake of the Keyblade War. While the light in the hearts of the dandelions keep the various worlds alive, the darkness causes them to split apart, with time now affecting each one differently. Soon, she meets
Interesting.
with Ephemer, and the pair find
Ephemer.
themselves in a graveyard of fallen Keyblades after the massive casualties of their wielders. Skuld and Ephemer realize that they are the first two of the 5 dandelions that will arrive to lead the unions. Aside from the 5, every other dandelion's memories have been erased, as part of the Master of Masters' plans to begin the world anew.
Man, they really couldn't come up with a cooler group name than dandelions. Shame.
Skuld and Ephemer then meet the 3rd union leader, a young man named Ventus, who isn't sure as to why
I know that guy.
he was selected. The 3 then meet number 4, another young man named Brain,
Milady.
who, unbeknownst to them, was left a copy of the Book of
Bro, no way. He did that. That's crazy. Dude, that hat is so bad.
Prophecies by Master Ava. The 4 then see the 5th union leader, but not the one Master Ava had intended. While Strelitzia was the intended 5th leader, Unbeknownst to the other four, a different Keyblade wielder named Larium arrives in her stead.
He's
The
evil.
five then make their way to the Foreteller's chambers, discovering the Master of Masters' research on the Dream Eaters, deciding to make spirits that can eat the nightmares of the surviving Keyblade wielders, ensuring their memories are fully erased.
Oh.
Skuld and Ephemer then find the unconscious player, who awakens to finally reunite with their friends, including their Chirithy. This moment quickly passes, however, as the player soon finds their Chirithy waking them up in a forest in the Enchanted Dominion world. Their Chirithy then tells them that they've only dreamt of the Keyblade War over and over again since the Night Master Ava invited them to join the Dandelions. In actuality, the player is now in the new world, with their memories of the war erased. The player and their Chirithy find their path blocked by a mass of
Why does he kind of look like me? Does this mean I kind of look basic? Am I hurt because of this? Am I upset? Interesting.
brambles. Unbeknownst to them, on the other side is the evil sorceress known as Maleficent. Maleficent's appearance, as it turns out, is facilitated by her ability to traverse time, as she is from the future, retaining her memories and objectives from her time. The woman states her delight that not even Sora could meddle in this world, before walking off, cryptically foreshadowing events.
Also, sure you're busy and everything. You could join anytime. Let you know. We could join the call. I could share a screen with you and everything like that. The offer's out there.
Long to come in the future. The player, unaware of Maleficent's presence, resolves to find a way through the brambles and continue their journey, driven by the lingering unease of their recurring dreams and the unknown challenges ahead. The player simply continues their mission, visiting the various worlds again as if nothing happened, and clearing out the invading forces of darkness within. One world, Enchanted Dominion, however, is brand new. There, Maleficent laments not being able to change the
That's fair.
past.
That's fair.
A manifestation of darkness appears before her, claiming that she is there to erase her defeat in the future from happening, where she tries to collect the 7 hearts of pure light. More on this much later. Darkness reveals that the Master of Masters foresaw this, and explains why Enchanted Dominion never existed before the Keyblade War. In actuality, the worlds that the player has been exploring are merely virtual projections created by the Master of Masters from data in the Book of Prophecies. Darkness then tells Maleficent that she must be sent back to her original time. In Daybreak Town, Larium reveals that he is searching for his sister, who is none other than Strelitzia. He soon learns from her acquaintance Elrena that she was searching for the player. Elrena goes to the abandoned house where Strelitzia was last seen, while Larium speaks with the other Union leaders about it. Ephemer immediately recognizes who Larium is speaking of, and goes to find the player between his missions in the Data Worlds. Ephemer introduces the player to Larium, who asks about his sister, but the player has no idea who she is. Meanwhile, Elrena investigates the house and sees a glitchy vision of Strelitzia, immediately telling Larium about it. Back at the clock tower, Skuld, Ventus, and Brain all start to see glitches of memories as well. Outside, Ephemer and the player see the glitches start to overwhelm the clock tower, and they rush there.
What?
Meeting with Ventus on their way, the three then find Brain in the clock tower's control room.
Ventus is way
Brain
older
is
than
seated at a
I thought he
massive
was.
computer terminal, and he proceeds to explain the creation of the Data Worlds,
And
revealing
when does this
a
take
virtual
place?
Daybreak Town that acted as the pathway between the real world and the projections. With the glitches currently going on, however, Brain begins to wonder which Daybreak town they're really in. Hoping to learn more about the source of the glitches, Ephemer and the player enter another connected world that Brain states doesn't exist in this.
Oh, fuck. This shit confusing.
Time. Brain soon determines that they're in the virtual world and surmises that somebody must be behind the current situation, but he doesn't know who.
I feel like to fully understand this and retain it, I would have to write all of this down, like take notes. I'm not going to do that, but that's what I would have to do, I feel like. Because it is very confusing. And we're in the first game, Union X.
He then considers using the Book of Prophecies and ponders his options alone. At the same time, Maleficent arrives in this Daybreak town, with Darkness telling them it's the key to returning to her world. The Darkness then tells Maleficent to go to the Clock Tower, where she'll be able to return to the real Daybreak town, where she'll be able to take an incomplete lifeboat back to her time. While Maleficent realizes the speed of which will separate her heart from her body, the Darkness confirms that she exists in the Book of Prophecies, so she must be able to find a new body in the future. Brain reads the Book of Prophecies, finding the list the Master of Masters created of the Union leaders Master Ava was to recruit. Brain then shares this note with Ephemer, revealing that not only was he not supposed to be the original recipient of the Book of Prophecies, but also that Strelitzia was supposed to be a Union leader. With
Is someone actually showing stuff on a timeline and not just talking over the gameplay? Yeah, but I feel like it would be way harder. Like I feel like you need both, right? Like you need all this to know the backstory of everything, but there are also things, videos, and even like just pictures of like the timeline and where every game kind of falls into place. But that won't tell you like the backstory of each game, like just the lore of the game.
Ventus's name nowhere to be found. Brain theorizes that leaving the Book of Prophecies to him was Master Ava's way of fighting against the fate decided by the Master of Masters. They both realize, however, that Ventus replacing Strelitzia was something completely unrelated. Skuld and Ventus then arrive, and Brain questions them, confirming their suspicion that something is off with Ventus. Brain then decides to reveal to both Skuld and Ventus that the latter's name wasn't on the Master of Masters list. The group determines that the Darkness must have disguised itself as the Master Ava who recruited Ventus. As Ventus struggles to remember what happened that day, they all decide to return to the clock tower. Meanwhile, Maleficent reaches a laboratory within the clock tower, where she is stopped by Lauriam. The two fight, destroying the equipment within the lab and knocking Lauriam unconscious. Maleficent disappears and escapes
Maleficent's
to the
so
real-world
strong.
version of the lab in the wake of the destruction.
Looks
The
like Hollow
Darkness then
Bastion.
has her enter another lifeboat pod to return to her time in the future. Afterward, the Union leaders regroup in the Foreteller's chambers. Ventus finally remembers what happened the night he was recruited by who he thought was Master.
You getting ready for 4? Welcome, Jonathan. Yes and no. So I've actually never played and beat all of Kingdom Hearts 3. I just did a playthrough of Kingdom Hearts 2 not too long ago. One of my mini playthroughs of that game. And I want to play and beat 3 on stream, but I kind of wanted to watch the lore leading up to 3 and then experience all of 3. All of this and 3 in preparation for 4. But so yeah. And man, oh man, is this just so confusing.
Master Ava. The darkness influenced the boy, making him attack Strelitzia before commanding him to take her book of rules. A distraught Ventus then rejoins the others just as the recovering Laurium arrives fresh from his battle. Ventus then comes clean, admitting his hand in his sister's fate. As the others are forced to hold a vengeful Laurium back, Ventus falls to his knees as the darkness emerges from him. The darkness reveals that Ventus was written to be a vessel for darkness in the Book of Prophecies. After a brief battle, the player returns and joins the group. The darkness then reveals that the data world was designed with a failsafe. When all of the lab's lifeboat pods leave the data world, everything would be sealed inside, including the darkness, forever. Knowing that Master Ava wouldn't just set them up to be lost forever, the group fights the manifestation of darkness once again. Afterward, Ventus awakens and realizes that if their adversary is pure darkness, that must make him pure light. He then uses this knowledge to change the darkness into a physical form his friends can defeat. After a flash of light, however, the darkness is left alone in the lab in the real world. There, the darkness is suddenly joined by Master Lushu, still alive and observing the events. Lushu is carrying a figure in a white robe and places them in one of the lifeboat pods. The darkness claims that if Lushu loses it, he'll defy the Master of Masters' orders, but Lushu states that he needs to plant this seed of light.
It's got to be Ventus, yeah?
He then places who he calls the true dandelion in the lifeboat and sends them forward in time. Afterwards, Lushu confronts the darkness about the 5 other shadows besides itself with individual will. The shadow reveals that all 5 of the others are currently still within the data world, leaving Lushu to destroy the sole conscious shadow in the real world. It's then revealed that Lushu, the Master of Masters, and the 5 foretellers all had trapped the 7 most powerful darknesses within their own hearts, leaving the remaining 6 of 13 total to roam free. The lost page in the Book of Prophecies was written to plant enough negative emotion for the darkness to feed onto. Sometime later, in the clock tower, Laurium forgives a recovering Ventus. Laurium believes he hears from his sister.
Hi, man. We're hanging out. Have a good night. So, man, there being like 2 separate like parallels is very confusing. The whole like data world and everything like that. Good luck with retaining this. Yeah, I probably won't retain like a bunch of this. A good choice. It gets more interesting, a little more understanding. I will say that once 3 is finished, it will bring together this part of the story and the Kingdom Hearts everyone grew up on. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I've definitely heard that 3 really does a good job of bringing everything together. If you've not played Birth by Sleep, I have played Birth by Sleep. I haven't beaten it in so long. I played it like when it first came out. I feel like I've played through a good deal of like the main games, like, but it was when they first came out, right? So, like, well, not like 1 and 2, I suppose, but like I've played 1, 2, 358, Any Memories, Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance. Like I've played through all those, beaten them, but it's been a very long time. So I understand like the main plot point behind like of Birth by Sleep, but I don't remember a lot of like the small ins and outs and of everything. You know what I mean?
For he hears Ephemer calling for him. Laurium finds.
And so I said like that person that was being sent into the future, it has to be Ventus, right? Like the true dandelion, the true Soul of Light has to be Ventus, because otherwise, how does Ventus go from this era, this point in the past, to Birth by Sleep. But that being said, I don't really know when this takes place yet.
Elrina waiting to speak to him. Her Chirithy tells him that they thought they saw his sister donned in a white robe, walking with another in a black one. Brain determines that the figure in black must have been Luciu, coming to the data world to retrieve the data preservation of Strelitzia. The Union leaders, along with the player and Elrena, then check on the lifeboats to the real world, finding only 5 now operational. Lorium, Elrena, and
just
Ventus
holding
then
Ventus like
enter
a baby
pods,
is so funny.
leaving Brain behind to give his Keyblade and the Book of Prophecies to Ephemer. Brain then enters his own pod, leaving Ephemer behind with Skuld and the player, hoping to find a way to get them all out at once later. In the real world, Brain decides to send 2 pods back to the data world to hopefully allow the 3 they left there behind to escape. He then sends Lorium with Elrena and Ventus into the future, while their destinations are unknown. Luciu then returns and finds Brain, before the pair introduce themselves, discussing the limits of time travel being someone with memories of the Traveler, as well as a vessel for them to occupy. Brain simply states that he'll figure.
Brain kind of looks like who's the he's the Organization 13 member with the book. What's his name? Zexian, I think. That looks like him a little bit, like his hair, but the hat. God, the hat's terrible.
Figure it out, no matter how long it takes. Back in the Data World lab, Ephemer, Skuld, and the player are suddenly met by 4 of the remaining Darkness Shadows. The Shadows ask that they allow them to travel through the gate back to the real world, which Ephemer predictably refuses. Suddenly, the player is possessed by another Darkness Shadow, who promises to release their friend if they open a gate to infect the real world. Ephemer and Skuld try to stop the player, but they are quickly overpowered. With no other choice, Ephemer opens a portal behind the player, which pulls them and the 4 Darkness Shadows into it. Ephemer and Skuld then enter their lifeboat pods and escape the data world. Elsewhere, the player awakens alongside the 4 Darkness Shadows, revealing that they were never even possessed. The player had simply tricked Ephemer into thinking his heart was lost to darkness, so he would trap them inside of the data world before it was sealed off. The player then apologizes to their Chirithy before a white light flashes. Ephemer and Skuld then find themselves in the real world.
Rearranging his name is a big point to look at when it comes to connections to the past and present. Yeah, that is true. The organization, like the Nobodies, is just their name rearranged with like an X in it, right? Something like that. Yeah, so it's Brain's definitely not that, huh? Do they ever take letters out of them? I don't really know. So when they go from the data world to the real world, that's not the future, that's just the real world.
With Daybreak Town falling around them.
Holy.
They return to their pods, and Ephemer reminisces about the player before they enter the lifeboats once again, traveling into their own unknown futures.
Okay, so all of them went to the future,
player's heart
except for the
then
player.
Awakens in a white void, alongside the hearts of their other fallen Keyblade wielders. The player is then given a choice of whether to allow their heart to sleep or not. If they do not, their heart is melded into the heart of another, generations into the future, someone that dons a mysterious blue robe. This person then adopts a baby boy, and a descendant of Ephemer's named Xehanort, taking him to a...
Okay. So Xehanort is a descendant of Ephemer, who was one of the leaders, one of the Dandelion leaders. And then he took Xehanort. But the blue, this guy in blue is the player? Interesting.
World called Destiny Islands. The player then makes their choice, and their heart disappears into the void.
Wait a minute. That blue robed, isn't that from the opening of Kingdom Hearts 1? When you go into the cave, that cave early in the game, and you're like, someone in like a blue robe talks to you. I forget what they say. Something about destiny or something, I'm sure. Then you don't know, you don't hear anything about them ever again, I think. It has to be that. Yeah, right? Data World is only the robed. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was really confused. Oh, the person in the first one is in tanned robe, not blue ones. Is that what you're saying? And to say the tanned robe is the guy. Oh, I thought it was blue robe. I knew he was in robes, but tan robes. Okay, I was wrong.
At some unknown point, we then see Luxu walking with the black box and the gazing eye Keyblade through the Keyblade graveyard. He then takes his hood's robe off, showing an appearance underneath identical to Brain. While Luxu had been instructed by the Master of Masters to leave the Keyblade to future generations, he was also instructed to observe the events of the future himself. This includes his heart inhabiting various other bodies over the years.
So, Cage 3 will show you who that is. Oh, the guy who was robed in the first Kingdom Hearts? Sick. I love that. So, okay. Brain allowed himself to be a vessel for Luxu so that Luxu could keep living on, kind of thing. Is a future traveler for sure. Gotcha.
At this point, however, it's unclear if Luxu was using the boy's body as a vessel or if he had simply bequeathed Brain the Gazing Eye Keyblade and instructed him to hide the black box.
Could have just kept
Either
listening,
way,
I suppose.
Centuries in the future, Brain awakens in Scala ad Caelum, a city built atop the ruins of Daybreak Town. There, he is immediately met by a hooded man named Sigurd, who had been awaiting his arrival. Sigurd takes Brain to the city's headquarters, and on the way, they see a statue of the original Keyblade master and founder of Scala ad Caelum, Brain's old friend, Ephemer.
Good for him. Ephemer is the original Keyblade master. Isn't that Master Ericus's Keyblade too? But he probably trained Master Ericus or something like that and handed down the Keyblade. The Brain is now just Brain who woke up in this town. Why? Where's Luxu now then?
We then return to Destiny Islands, where we find Xehanort, now grown into a curious boy,
Aww.
living on the isolated world,
Cute.
but itching to know if there's something more out there. The reincarnated player raises the boy, telling him that he is the child of destiny, the descendant of a renowned Keyblade wielder who will save the world from darkness. While the player assures the boy that one day he'll be strong enough to fight darkness, the young Xehanort is only worried about seeing his mother again someday.
Oof, that's sad.
Xehanort then tells the player that he wishes to also see the children he sees in his dreams, describing the Union leaders, including Ephemer and the player. The player then finally tells Xehanort about his first life, including the Book of Prophecies. However, in their second life, the player learned that the Child of Destiny could change the outcome in the book, and this child would have the ability to feel, share, and embrace what others felt in their hearts. This child of destiny, more importantly, would hail from Destiny Islands. Unequivocally, the player believes Xehanort to be this child of destiny.
But he didn't hail from Destiny Islands. He was taken to Destiny Islands.
8 years later, with the reincarnated player who raised him now gone, Xehanort is still
That's so
plagued
sad.
by dreams of the Keyblade War that split the worlds apart generations ago. One day, Xehanort is
There he is. That's it. Yep, I remember it.
visited by another figure whose identity is cloaked in robes. This mysterious figure tells Xehanort that the boy is their waypoint, before offering him a way to explore the other worlds. The figure then opens a portal called a Corridor of Darkness that links to another world, Scala ad Caelum. Xehanort enters the portal and arrives in the city, known as the Stairway to the Sky. After its founding, Ephemer intended to use Scala
It's so cool that Xehanort also grew up on Destiny Islands, though. That's really cool.
ad Caelum to preserve and pass down the knowledge required to keep light alive in the eternal battle against darkness. The most important aspect of this knowledge is the ability to wield Keyblades properly, including a final test of one's ability and readiness called the Mark of Mastery exam.
Which
Those
we
who
know.
pass this test are awarded the title of Keyblade Master. Upon arriving in the new world of Scala ad Caelum, Xehanort meets another boy named Ericus. While both of the pair have no idea how Xehanort got there or where he came from, they strike up a friendship, and Xehanort joins Ericus in training to become a Keyblade wielder. Training under an older, experienced Keyblade master named Odin, Xehanort and
holy.
Ericus make up a group of students including others named Erd, Vor, Bragi, Hermid, and Balder. Even though he's in a new world, Xehanort again grows tired and bored with his day-to-day life, leaving him still searching for something to change his heart. At some point, Xehanort and Ericus play a friendly game
Dude, it is whiplash going from the mobile game graphics to this beautiful graphics.
of Alba and Otter, a board game resembling chess. With Xehanort representing the dark pieces and Ericus
I feel like this video is going to spoil Kingdom Hearts 3. Simply because it says Kingdom Hearts 3 right here. Maybe not. Maybe this is just a video from Kingdom Hearts 3 to help. Right? Yeah. I was hoping that it would go all the way up until Kingdom Hearts. See, right here, actually. Am I not? Like, I'll probably stop like around here after it gets done with the Dream Drop Distance. All this is Kingdom Hearts 3. Well, then. Melody of Memory. And the forward trailer. Or not. Maybe this it says Kingdom Hearts 3 right here, but maybe this is just like, you know, we'll see.
representing the Light Ones. The pair discuss the eternal war between light and darkness. Pulling light from the past, Ericus wins their game, despite Xehanort joking that he never loses. While Xehanort claims that one day the world will call on Ericus to be its protector, he'll be there with him as a friend. Ericus then puts 7 of Xehanort's black pieces on the board against a single one of his own white ones, claiming that he's learned of a new game. Meanwhile, the Gazing Eye Keyblade, having been bequeathed from generation to generation, has come into the possession of the two students' master, Odin. As it hangs on the wall of the classroom, the Gazing Eye watches Xehanort and
But why
Ericus
and
square
how?
off against each other, not for the first time, and certainly not for the last.
So is Odin
One day,
Lushu?
Master Odin assembles the students of Xehanort and Ericus'
Or
class,
descendant of, I guess.
informing them of dire news. While undergoing their Mark of Mastery exam, all 7 upperclassmen have gone missing in the surrounding worlds. Breaking tradition, Odin teaches the underclassmen how to access the other worlds so they can assist in the search, save for Balder, whose sister is one of the missing students. The group then split into 2 search parties and don armor that wards off the darkness.
Yo. It's just where King Hearts 3 starts with their videos in Scala, where they're in this video. Yeah. So, is this Kingdom Hearts 3? Or is this just like kind of the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3? Is the Dark Road Kingdom Hearts Dark Road? There's definitely going to be bits of Kingdom Hearts 3 spoiled for sure. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Using their
This armor's sick though, dude. This has got to be heavily influenced by Power Rangers.
blades, they open pathways and traverse to new worlds to begin their search. After finding strong, heartless forces inhabiting the various worlds, the class regroup and determine that the missing upperclassmen must have been attacked and overwhelmed. Knowing that they have to show the same determination as their older counterparts, the Keyblade students continue their search. On their way, however, they discover that darkness can bury itself inside of someone's heart and influence their decisions without them even realizing.
I remember that world.
Xehanort and Ericus begin to disagree on how their search should continue. While Xehanort suggests that pursuing darkness might lead them to the missing students, Ericus holds steadfast that their duty is to protect the light. While searching one of the worlds, Xehanort and Ericus, along with a fellow student named Vor, finally find one of the upperclassmen, Vider. Vider acts strangely, however, and tries to recruit Vor to join them. While Xehanort and Ericus try to convince her to stay with them, Vor leaves with Vider.
Yeah, I agreed on the outfits. Yeah, they look sick.
The class return to Scala ad Kylum to find Master Odin now missing.
Sure,
but they decide to continue their mission anyway,
like their normal ones.
Adding Vor to their search. Xehanort and Ericus disagree on their next move, so they decide to lead separate searches. Meanwhile, Vider returns to speak with Master Odin. Odin warns Vider about true darkness, the 13 ancient darknesses that are approaching.
Okay.
Master Odin then explains that the 7 most powerful ones were imprisoned within the Keyblade Masters of the past, who had offered themselves as vessels, and came to be called the Lost Masters.
This is some like Brandon Sanderson shit, man. This is sounding like the Radiance or whatever. Good lord. This is more confusing than a Brandon Sanderson story.
Of the 6 shadows that remained, 4 were trapped by Keyblade wielders in the realm between of another world, while the last 2 were rumored to have been destroyed when the world collapsed. During their continued search, Xehanort and Hermid are split up with Erd. Erd is then overwhelmed by enemies, but saved by Vala, one of the upperclassmen. Vala tells Erd that she had been watching her, waiting for her to prove that she was capable of helping them achieve their goal. While Erd doesn't agree to go with Vala, a fellow upperclassman named Vali arrives and entrusts her with the enchanted rose that's essential to keep the order of the world they're in, Beast's Castle. Later, the group again come across Vider and Vor, attempting to take the magic lamp from Agrabah, another item that's essential to the world's order. Vider reveals that by taking the items that upset the balance of the worlds, they hope to uncover the true light that shines even in the face of confusion and uncertainty. Vider then explains their goal of gathering the 7 lights to defeat true darkness before leaving once again. With the moral implications weighing over their heads, the underclassmen decide to return to Master Odin once again to confer. Odin then reveals that the upperclassmen are likely trying to collect the 7 lights to summon Kingdom Hearts to fight off the true darkness. Now knowing the task at hand is too much for them to handle, Odin relieves the underclassmen of their current duties. While the students try to figure out their next move, Balder finally joins them. They fill him in on the situation, and the boy tells them that they no longer have to search for his sister, Hoder, as she tried to protect him and is now gone. Balder then reveals that before his sister went off to conduct her Mark of Mastery exam, he felt something was off, so he followed her. Watching her battle Maleficent in a dragon-like form, Balder tried to jump in to help Hoder, but she was forced to jump in front of a blast from the dragon, striking her down before Balder passed out. Hoping to learn more, the group go to a world Balder recently discovered where they might find the perished underclassmen, the Underworld. Arriving at the Olympus Coliseum, the group meet Hades, Lord of the Underworld, who offers them an invitation to his domain so long as they win a tournament. Xehanort, Ericus, and Bragi fight in the tournament and emerge the victors, gaining them access to the Underworld. There, Xehanort and Ericus find Hoder, along with fellow fallen upperclassmen Heimdall, Helgi, and Sigrun. Xehanort...
This is very inspired by Norse mythology. Dude, they look cool. Dude, I think like this one looks super cool, like the outfit and everything. Hair.
Reveals Vidar's plan to summon Kingdom Hearts to destroy the darkness that took his friends from him. Hoder and the others, who also fell while trying to fight Maleficent, then wonder if the evil fairy is the formless, true darkness, but decide that either way she needs to be dealt with. Hoder then secretly asks Xehanort for a favor before her and her compatriots' hearts disappear. Afterwards, Hades throws Xehanort, Ericus, Hermod, and Erd into a corridor of darkness. While they all don their armor, the darkness quickly overwhelms them. Master Odin is able to intervene, opening his own portal to rescue Xehanort and Ericus from the realm of darkness. Sometime later, the three meet in...
Do you think that Ericus is a descendant of Brain because Ericus was descended from a Dan fought against darkness and they used the same lines? Yeah, that's kind of the way it seems, huh? Like, that's what I was assuming. Either he was a descendant or he was just, like, trained by a descendant, I suppose. Is Ericus descended from a dandelion leader who fought against darkness? Same line. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely... If Ericus descended from a dandelion leader, then it was definitely... Yeah, it had to have been Brain.
Master Odin's classroom, and he informs them of the losses. The group then realize that Balder must have succumbed to the darkness after losing his sister, and a loud rumble...
Is there a descendant of Ephemer, then? Oh, no. Xehanort's a descendant of Ephemer, right?
...is then heard outside. Odin wields the Gazing Eye Keyblade and runs outside. Ericus, not wanting to lose another friend, rushes out with Xehanort, and the pair find Scala and Kylum in chaos. Vidar, Vala, and Vali then arrive and reveal that Balder had been chosen as the vessel of darkness. Ericus, angered that Vidar didn't stop Balder, takes out his frustration by attacking him and the two other upperclassmen.
Dang.
After the scuffle, Xehanort is able to calm Ericus down, and Vidar admits that using Kingdom Hearts to purge the darkness isn't the answer. The group discuss Vor's return to Master Odin at the tower when suddenly the darkness engulfed Balder appears beside them. While the group tries to free Balder from the darkness, he simply states that he has business at the tower before vanishing as quickly as he appeared, leaving several heartless in his wake. The group race to the tower in hopes of rescuing Vor, but when they arrive, they find her already beside Balder. The darkness inside Balder reveals that it was actually what had taken out Hoder, Heimdall, Helgi, Sigrun, Bragi, Erd, and Hermod, boasting that Vor will be number 8. As Vidar, Vala, and Vali intervene, a massive heartless form emerges from Balder's body, instantly slaying them, giving him victims 8, 9, and 10.
Holy.
As Vor tries to help as well, she's quickly cast aside, marking number 11. Balder,
Lord.
stating they should finish this somewhere worthy of the occasion, vanishes in a cloud of darkness. Xehanort and Ericus head out of the chamber to find him atop the tower. Balder states that Xehanort and Ericus will be the last of the 13 lights that must be given to the shadows to summon Kingdom Hearts. Balder then reveals that he, influenced by the darkness, had tricked Vidar into trying to summon Kingdom Hearts, but when he gave up, Balder had to step in to do it himself. Xehanort and Ericus then battle the heartless form of the darkness inside of Balder, and after a grueling fight, they are able to defeat it. In the wake of the battle,
cool
Ericus urges Xehanort to drive the darkness out
layout.
of Balder. Suddenly,
Yes, it is
Xehanort
in
finds
Ever.
himself and his adversary
What I thought.
surrounded by
I remembered.
darkness. Balder asks Xehanort if he can claim that his own heart is untainted by darkness, and the boy silently reflects. Balder then tells Xehanort that like when he lost his own sister, when Xehanort loses the person he cares about, Ericus, he will also be swept away by darkness. Finally, Balder claims to not be the ancient, true darkness, but instead one born from the darkness in all of their hearts. Suddenly, the favor Hodor asks Xehanort is revealed. Since their meeting in the underworld, the boy had been harboring her heart within his own. Hodor's spirit then appears before her brother, telling him that he no longer has to fear the darkness in others' hearts. Hodor and Balder then
how'd
draw
she
their
do that?
keyblades before Master Odin suddenly arrives and subdues the boy in chains.
Nice.
Hodor's spirit
job, Odin.
strikes Balder before vanishing, knocking him down and leaving him vulnerable for a final attack. While the subdued darkness within Balder tries to reason with Xehanort by telling him that they're both the same, Xehanort slices through the boy as well as the chains, destroying him and leaving the darkness to fade as his heart vanishes. 1 month later, Xehanort visits the graveyard on Scala ad Caelum and lays flowers at the headstones for Hermod, Erd, Bragi, Vor, and the others, including Balder, who he notes can at least be with his sister now.
Nice.
Ericus arrives with his own arrangements and begins to place them, noting that Master Odin hasn't been himself since the incident.
I mean, yeah, that's
Furthermore,
fair.
Ericus
wouldn't
tells
either.
Xehanort that Odin is planning to conduct their Mark of Mastery exams soon, planning to retire once they become Keyblade Masters and take his place. As Xehanort and Ericus walk off to have another game, they're watched by a robed figure, who comments that it wasn't him after all. It's then revealed that Bragi never actually perished, and in fact was never really Bragi all along.
Bragi.
The boy the
Which
entire
one was
class
Bragi?
knew as Bragi was simply a vessel for the lost master Luciu, who overpowered Balder and disappeared.
Wait. Okay. So Bragi's not Bragi. He's just like a body vessel for Luciu, who has been watching. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Luciu realizes that since Bragi's not supposed to be alive anymore, it'll be hard to show his face in his current vessel. While he's disappointed that he hasn't found the chosen one, he notes that Xehanort could still be very useful. 1 year after the upperclassmen went missing, Xehanort is walking through a corridor of darkness. While his armor protects him, he can feel the darkness seeping through into
That's
his
cool
heart.
armor.
Xehanort then decides to accept his destiny and sheds his armor, collapsing as the darkness surrounds him. Suddenly, a robed figure arrives and recognizes Xehanort as the Singularity. The figure then takes Xehanort to the Keyblade graveyard, giving him a black cloak that will protect him against the darkness better than his armor. In return, the stranger asks him to search for the darkness within people's hearts on his travels, stating that he'll be there waiting for his return. Sometime later,
I remember that. I remember seeing that. I don't remember where I seen it though. It must have just been a scene from a video I've watched through the years.
Xehanort, now wearing the black coat, returns to the barren world.
Hey,
There
good
he
graphics.
sits among the rocky pillars of the Badlands, deep in thought. The other figure, revealed to be the Master of Masters, approaches. While Xehanort doesn't know him or his significance, the pair talk about the boy's journey to different worlds.
But it's not the Master of Masters, though, right? Maybe it is. I don't remember. I think I watched this video. I don't remember when. But this is a bit of a spoiler for Kingdom Hearts 3, yeah? I think this is like the DLC ending or something like that. Or maybe just the ending, I don't know.
And the dark truths he has uncovered about human nature. Xehanort reveals his belief that darkness resides in every heart, and that people
This old break. Here he is calling him. Oh, break. That's Zigbar, right? That's the dude with the guns. Yeah. Yeah.
will justify their selfish actions.
So he's not the Master of Masters. Wait, so does that mean Brig, aka Zigbar, aka is he Lushu? He been Lushu this whole time?
Through hollow reasons, perpetuating a cycle of chaos. The hooded figure challenges Xehanort's conclusions, asking why he feels the need to impose order. Xehanort explains that without guidance, the world would collapse into chaos. The stranger points out that understanding emotions and hearts is difficult, but Xehanort is resolute in his belief that the world needs him to act. The Master of Masters encourages Xehanort to follow his convictions, regardless of the results of his upcoming Mark of Mastery exam. Xehanort admits that he feels a mysterious sense of destiny, even tied to the black coat he wears, though the stranger hints that he eventually will outgrow the need for it. When Xehanort asks who the stranger is, the figure identifies himself as a lost master. Xehanort is left pondering this cryptic meeting as the stranger departs, leaving him with the words, "May your heart be your guiding key."
This guy is Master of Masters.
1 year later,
and it's not.
Ericus and Xehanort return to their chess game, discussing
The guy is Master of Masters, and if it's not, it's Zigbar. Gotcha. Break is Zigbar. Yeah, Zigbar. Yeah, Break. However you say it. I think so that he's Lushu, but that's not the Master of Masters.
what they'll do next. Xehanort claims that one lifetime won't be enough for him, as he'll need 13 to
You're saying that guy in that cutscene is Master of Masters? From what you can remember, at least. But if it's not, then it is Lushu, aka Zigbar, aka Breg. Gotcha.
build the world. Ericus, meanwhile, merely hopes to remain a beacon of light, guiding those who have fallen to darkness back. 2 years later, Xehanort lays arrangements of flowers at the
But the confusion everyone has is Lushu and Brain's connection. Yeah, so from because okay. So Lushu momentarily took over Brain's body as a vessel, but then left his body. Where did he go from there then? I don't know where he went from there. Eventually he went to Bragi, Brag, however, whatever you want to call him. Yeah, I don't know where he went from after taking over Brain's body as a vessel. Because he said Brag then as himself woke up in that new place. And then eventually had kids and da da da, and then Ericus became like a descendant of Brain, so he wasn't Lushu at that point. So that kind of in between state of leaving Braig's body or Brain's body and then taking over. I'm just gonna call him Zigbar because I don't know. I don't really know.
4 headstones in the graveyard on Scala ad Kylum. While Ericus tries to convince Xehanort that what happened wasn't his fault, the boy still decides to leave their world to search for something before his Mark of Mastery exam. The pair then sadly go their separate ways, with Ericus joking that one day he'll settle their score. 3 years after, Xehanort, now wielding the Gazing Eye Keyblade bequeathed to him by Master Odin, tells his friend and fellow Keyblade Master Ericus that summoning Kingdom Hearts is the only path to protecting the world.
Okay. So this Keyblade was originally Lushu's, but it somehow ended up in Odin's hand, Master Odin's hands. Master Masters is the only one that has the personality, the first phone game, and the only explanation on how that hooded guy with Xehanort is Zigbar took on the same personality. And the only explanation on how that hooded guy, Xehanort Zigbar, is he took on the same personality. Okay. One that has that personality. Okay. I think I understand what you're saying. I don't understand this Keyblade. There's a lot of going to the future that we know can happen, but we don't know who all could do that. Yeah. True. What's up with this Keyblade though, right? It was Lushu's, and he was supposed to well, I guess he was supposed to bequeath it to people. To descendants. He bequeathed it to Odin. Wait, who had it before Odin? Did Ephemer have it? I don't remember. But now Xehanort has it. I knew Xehanort got it at some point.
Unable to come to a resolution, the pair then clash. We then jump over 5 decades later.
5 decades. We're jumping 50 years into the future. Wow. What a time skip. Okay. Holy crap, I didn't realize that that one would have such a thing. He is all giggly on the first phone game, and he was doing that same thing in that encounter with Xehanort. Okay. So he just, I think Zigbar, yeah, I think Zigbar was just acting like the Master of Masters. And at this point, Zigbar, is he the last one of those like masters still living? Because all the other 5, right? They were, or I guess they trapped darkness. I don't remember. Are they all dead? All the other like Ava and all them? Are they all, I think they're all dead. I think Zigbar is the last living one. Lushu, I guess.
Where a now elderly Master Xehanort discovers Ventus in the Keyblade graveyard, arriving from the past. Xehanort takes Ventus on as his apprentice, believing the boy to have the potential to assist him in summoning Kingdom Hearts. In his travels, Xehanort determines that a heart of pure light, which when battling an equal strengthened heart of pure darkness, can somehow create a copy of the Keyblade. Xehanort tests this theory with Ventus in the Keyblade graveyard, but the boy ultimately succumbs to the darkness. Master Xehanort is then forced to strip that part of his heart away, and it manifests itself into a being of pure darkness, materializing as a masked, Keyblade-wielding boy
Lucian and Zigbar will be March 300%. Okay, cool.
Named
Gotcha.
Vanitas, who Xehanort also begins to train. This process leaves Ventus's heart in a broken state, and Xehanort takes the unconscious boy to his old homeworld of Destiny Islands,
Whoa.
where he can recover. Suddenly, a brand new heart, one belonging to a yet unborn child, notices the fractured light of Ventus's heart and connects with him.
Okay. But I guess that doesn't answer like what happened to Ventus's body, right? He just drops his body off at Destiny Islands. But then his heart was consumed, I guess consumed, not really consumed, but like taken in by Sora.
This new heart then connects with his, giving him the strength to stop his light from fading away, while allowing him the opportunity to win back the part that already did someday. To Xehanort's shock, Ventus then awakens and wields his Keyblade.
Okay. Doesn't he gets put in Castle Oblivion, right?
Sometime later, Master Xehanort walks through a corridor of darkness with Ventus, whose traumatic events have left him without any of his memories. Xehanort then remarks that the darkness around them doesn't matter to the uncloaked Ventus, whose heart has been closed off. They then reach the Land of Departure, where training Keyblade wielders and apprentices of Ericus's Terra and Aqua are practicing. In the Land of Departure,
That's right.
Masters Ericus and Xehanort then begin to discuss
End of
their
Birth by
new
Sleep,
abode
he's put it.
and the apprentices they've taken on.
Yeah.
Believing Ventus to be the child of destiny prophesied to save the world from darkness, Xehanort asks Ericus to train the boy, believing himself to be too close to the darkness to properly guide him. In reality, Xehanort knows that Ventus cannot stay with him after what he did to the boy. Over the next few years, Ventus begins to train under Ericus alongside Terra and Aqua, with nobody besides Xehanort aware of the boy's true history. At some point, Master Ericus speaks in the throne room with Xehanort, who seeks to forge the Keyblade and unlock the door to Kingdom Hearts, driven by his belief that darkness is a beginning, not an end.
Yeah, Sleep. Yeah, he's at the end of Birth by Sleep. I think Aqua takes him to, right? I think Aqua takes him to Castle Oblivion and like puts him in a slumber, basically, essentially.
Ericus, fearing the catastrophic consequences of Xehanort's quest, vehemently opposes him, resulting in a battle.
Yep.
Xehanort, wielding dark powers, overpowers Ericus, leaving him injured and questioning if Xehanort has already succumbed to darkness. Unconcerned, Xehanort departs, leaving a...
Oblivion is Scala? Wait, is it? Oblivion is Scala, which is the... Scala is... That's, which one is Scala again? Is that where like everyone was like originally from?
Scarred.
Like the one where like it was that world and like the data world, like the original, where all the like the factions or whatever.
Ericus to grapple with the aftermath of their latest clash. One night, In the land of departure, Ventus, Aqua, and Terra spot a meteor shower and begin to watch it together. Aqua notes that she and Terra have their
This is
Mark
the
of
beginning
Mastery
of
exams the next day, and she
Birth by
presents her
Sleep.
friends with good luck charms called Wayfinders that she had made for all three of them, shaped after the Paupu fruit, a star-shaped fruit that is said to interconnect the destinies of those who share one. Aqua hopes that as long as they each carry a charm, they'll always be able to find their way back to each other. Meanwhile, in the world known only as the Mysterious Tower, we find the king of the Disney Castle world and Keyblade Master, Mickey Mouse.
King Mickey takes him to Scala and then, in a sense, covers it with the Castle Oblivion. Ah, so he like reskins it. Scala is where they were all from in Birth by Sleep. Oh, so that's where like, oof. Uh, I know this is not it's the name, but it's Epherum where they are training in this video at the moment. Yeah. Is that's where like they grew up, right? Like not grew up. This is where like Ericus and Xehanort trained and stuff under Odin.
Mickey enters the tower and speaks with his former teacher, sorcerer and retired Keyblade Master, Yen Sid. During their conversation, Yen Sid notes that he feels something terrible is about to occur. The next day, Aqua and Terra
Is Yen Sid evil? I always thought Yen Sid was a little evil.
appear before Ericus to start their Mark of Mastery exam. As Master Xehanort and Ventus watch on, Ericus begins the exam by summoning orbs of light. Xehanort suddenly sabotages the exercise, introducing darkness into the orbs. Ventus is then forced to protect himself as his friends complete their exam. After defeating the orbs, Aqua and Terra are presented with their final test, a sparring session amongst each other to bring out their true nature through combat.
Oh, it was wrong. It's the land of departure. But they were. So this is the land of departure. Scala is where. Oh, this is Scala. Land of departure is Castle Oblivion. Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying this is the land of departure and Scala is where Ericus and them were originally from, where they like trained and stuff?
During their fight, however, Terra is unable to control the darkness that influences him, something that Master Xehanort immediately takes notice of. After their battle, Master Ericus announces the results of the exam. Only Aqua showed the Mark of Mastery and is granted the title of Keyblade Master.
Yeah, the grumpy
while Terra's lack of control of the darkness causes him
definitely
to
did.
fail. Xehanort leaves the room to find a hidden Vanitas, who questions him about his former vessel, Ventus. Xehanort instead simply reflects on the 13 ancient darknesses and the possibility of the sole surviving one hiding amongst them, disguising themselves as light. A frustrated and confused Terra begins to wonder aloud about where the darkness that overcame him came from. Suddenly, Master Xehanort appears and tries to convince the young man that darkness shouldn't be feared, but instead channeled for its immense power. After Xehanort plants the seeds of doubt that Ericus will never allow him to pass his exam, Terra returns to his class before Xehanort disappears into a corridor of darkness. When Terra returns to...
Yes, this is the video. This in the video is Scala, but departure was turned into Castle Oblivion. Gotcha. So this is Scala. The departure, land of departure, was turned into Castle Oblivion. Gotcha. Why does Vanitas look like Sora? I've always wondered that. Even now, like, because there was Ventus, and then the darkness was removed from Ventus, where Ericus and Xehanort trained just before. Okay. So this isn't Scala, where Xehanort and Ericus trained before that Scala. So Ventus was discovered, was sent from the past and discovered by Xehanort. Xehanort tried to train him, wasn't working. I think he said he like extracted the darkness from Ventus, and that made Vanitas. Then he took him to Destiny Islands, where part of his heart, or I guess maybe his whole heart, was taken in by Sora, and then he was taken here. So Vanitas was created before Sora even came into the picture. But why does Vanitas look like Sora?
Aqua, they see Ericus speaking with Yen Sid through an open portal between their worlds. Yen Sid tells Ericus that the Princesses of Heart are in danger. These 7 princesses, spread across various worlds, house the pure light that was shattered from the Keyblade, and they're now under threat by both the Heartless and a new form of opposition known as the Unversed. These Unversed feed on negativity and were unknowingly created from the negative emotions that emerged from Vanitas' creation. Master Ericus then reveals that Master Xehanort has gone missing, before tasking Aqua and Terra with finding him while eliminating the Unversed. Before they depart, Master Ericus speaks with them both separately, first warning Terra not to obsess over power as it will beckon the darkness. He then asks Aqua to watch over Terra closely and return him to the land of departure if she sees any sign of the darkness growing within him.
So this is the land of departure. Scala was. I keep getting hung up on this part. Scala was where Ericus and Xehanort was before. This is the land of departure, which is reskin. This turns into Castle Oblivion. That makes sense because I remember Aqua taking Ventus here and putting him like behind the throne or on the throne, somewhere around there, on one of those chairs that you can't see behind my camera. And then turns it into Castle Oblivion so he'll be protected.
Meanwhile, Ventus sits in his room, where he's suddenly visited by Vanitas, who cryptically states that Terra is currently leaving him behind. Furthermore, Vanitas states that by the time Ventus catches up to Terra,
Dude, Vanitas looks so cool.
he'll be a different person. Vanitas then disappears into a corridor of darkness, as Ventus rushes off to look for his friend. Ventus finds Terra just in time to say his goodbyes, as the latter dons his Keyblade and armor before flying off to the lanes between worlds to begin.
Ooh. Fun fact, I've never beaten that boss. In Kingdom Hearts 2, the Lingering Will, never beaten him.
To finally prove himself as a worthy Keyblade master. Ventus, fearing Vanitas' words, then dons his own armor before flying off after him, much to an arriving Aqua and Ericus' dismay. Ericus then tasks the new Keyblade master with rescuing her friend, and Aqua dons her armor before following Ventus. As Terra begins,
their armor, not as cool as the OG, to be honest with you. Still really cool, but not as cool. This is his heart connected with Sora, and when he turned into Heartless, Roxas was made, and then on with data skills and memories. It's protected it. Castle 100%. Yeah. Yeah, I knew, I remember all that. his heart's connected to the Sora, and the Sora is turned into a heartless Roxas as nobody, and that's why Roxas looks like Ventus. And then Xion was created in Roxas Keyblade skills, data, and Sora memories. That's why she doesn't look like anyone, but why? Like it still beckons the question of why does Vanitas look like Sora? Sora was his own whole person, right? So like, I think that is one of those things. Is like, they just did it because they wanted it to look like, right? Like they had to. There was no real reason I can think of unless it's revealed later.
His journey, he finds himself in the enchanted Dominion world, immediately finding Unversed invading, which he fights off. Nearby, the world's sorceress, Maleficent, spots Terra.
First hardest fight without cheat winning? The Lingering Will? Dude, I've never beaten it. It's so hard. I've heard you can cheese it by like you have to get Fenrir, whipped like negative combo or whatever it's called, and then you can just like jump slash over and over and over again and beat him pretty quickly, pretty easily. But I've never tried it. So
while this Maleficent is the same that we will later see go back in time, at this point in the timeline, she has not yet gained the ability to traverse between worlds and times. She approaches Terra, intrigued by his strength and potential.
This is what like
Maleficent senses the darkness within him and decides to manipulate Terra for her own purposes, telling him that she saw Master Xehanort leaving the castle, overhearing him mention trapping the light inside the world's Princess Aurora. Inside, Terra finds the princess, fast asleep from a curse placed by Maleficent. The sorceress arrives once more and begins to tell him about the power of the 7 Princesses of Heart, awakening the darkness within him to give him the power to collect them. Terra remembers his lessons from Master Ericus and decides to push the darkness down, but Maleficent's influence over the darkness proves too powerful. Left in a trance-like state, Terra uses his Keyblade to extract the light from the Sleeping Beauty's heart. As Maleficent retrieves it, Terra snaps out of it and realizes what he's done. Maleficent tries to get Terra to join her in collecting the other 6 hearts, but he refuses and she vanishes, leaving him to resume his search for Master Xehanort. Meanwhile, Ventus follows.
I believe the order goes: Roxas' heart was pulled out, Sora connects, then Ventus. I thought it was the other way around. I thought he found Ventus at the Badlands or whatever, the Keyblade Graveyard, whatever it's called. And then tries to train him, doesn't work. He realizes, this isn't it. Then he extracts it and makes Vanitas. And that left him kind of like dead-eyed, right? And then he takes him in that little white robe. Takes him to Destiny Islands, which his heart then connects to Sora's. Then he's taken to the land of departure, given to Ericus. I guess that would make sense. Maybe I need to go back and watch that. Why would he take him to Destiny Islands and then back to land of departure? So maybe you're right. Maybe he did find him, take him to Destiny Islands, start connected, tried to train him. Oh, I don't remember. I'll have to rewatch that part.
Follows Terra's tracks, finding himself in the worlds of the other Princesses of Heart. Similarly, Aqua attempts to search for both Terra and Ventus, eventually finding the former and informing him that their other friend has gone missing after following him. Terra informs Aqua about Xehanort's plan to find pure hearts filled with light, and the pair split up to continue their respective searches. When Ventus reaches the enchanted dominion, he's able to release Aurora's heart from Maleficent's grasp before the sorceress arrives and attempts to stop him. After a battle, Maleficent tells Ventus that Terra stole Aurora's heart willingly, and Aqua arrives just in time to plead with Ventus not to believe the evil fairy. Aqua tries to convince Ventus to come home with her, but he refuses, rushing off and leaving the Keyblade Master to deal with Maleficent. After also refusing to help Maleficent, Aqua helps rescue Princess Aurora from her slumber, defeating the sorceress in her dragon-like form. A wounded Maleficent is then forced to flee the Enchanted Dominion to continue her plot of searching for the Seven Hearts of Light, as Aqua continues her own search for Ventus. Meanwhile, Master Xehanort speaks in private with a man named Brag. Unbeknownst to Xehanort and everyone else, Brag is another vessel for the lost Master Luxu. Continuing his task of observing the events of the Gazing Eye Keyblade, Luxu inhabits Brag and offers him...
Hold on. So maybe that was the Master of Masters, but I kind of remember the voice in that cutscene being his, like Zigbar's breaks, whatever. I could be wrong. Actually, I do think I am wrong about that. But I mean, he definitely met him, right? Like, Luxu is the one who took Xehanort, right? And put him at... No, that was the player. The player took Xehanort. But Luxu thought Xehanort was like the chosen one, the child of destiny, or whatever, or the prophecy. So Brag here, Luxu, has known Xehanort for all these 50 years and has watched him. I guess that's longer than 50 years at this point, but still. But Xehanort has no idea.
His help to assist Xehanort in forcing Terra to succumb to the darkness, feigning ignorance as a fool who simply wishes to obtain the power of the Keyblade in return. Hoping to learn more about the Unversed, Terra seeks out Yen Sid. Upon arriving at his mysterious tower, Terra consults with the retired Keyblade Master, who suggests a connection between Master Xehanort and the sudden emergence of the Unversed. Yen Sid advises Terra to find Xehanort, and as Terra departs, the sorcerer muses to himself, wishing that Xehanort's heart would not lead him astray. While traveling through the lanes between, Terra suddenly hears Master Xehanort beckoning him. Terra then finds himself in the Keyblade graveyard, where Xehanort is currently waiting for him. Terra confronts him, and the old master admits that he created Vanitas from the darkness inside of Ventus. Furthermore, Xehanort claims that the only way to stop the Unversed is to stop Vanitas, claiming he will likely be drawn to the City of Light, the world known as Radiant Garden. As Terra leaves the Keyblade graveyard to find...
Great world, by the way. Radiant Garden. Love that world.
Radiant Garden, his target, Vanitas, discovers Ventus in the lanes between. Vanitas leads Ventus to the now empty Keyblade graveyard, where the being of darkness challenges the boy he was created from to a battle. While Ventus is quickly overpowered and incapacitated, he's saved at the last moment by an arriving Keyblade Master he's yet to meet, Mickey Mouse. Mickey heals Ventus's wounds, and the pair join forces to take on Vanitas. Together, the pair are able to drive the being of darkness back, forcing Vanitas to escape into a corridor of darkness. After the battle, Ventus and Mickey introduce themselves to each other. Mickey reveals a star shard he borrowed from Yen Sid, which has enabled his travels between worlds. Suddenly, the shard transports them to Radiant Garden, where they soon become separated. In Radiant Garden, Ventus searches for Mickey and encounters two castle guards, Dylan and Alias. Their conversation is interrupted by an
Organization
attacking
13.
Unversed, forcing Ventus to run off while the guards are restrained by a man named Evan, who reminds them that protecting the castle and its inhabitants is their priority. Around the same time, Terra arrives in Radiant Garden, searching for Vanitas, but instead spots Master Xehanort and decides to follow him. On his way, Terra notices an old wizard, Merlin, who drops a book entitled Winnie the Pooh. Terra returns it to Merlin, who claims that the book isn't.
Yeah, so Ventus was split into two, with Vanitas first. So the other way this works, with Vanitas looking like Sora, is that because Sora and Ventus connect, and technically Ventus and Vanitas is the same, one of the light and one of the dark. That makes sense.
His, but holds on to it anyway. Meanwhile,
We need
Aqua
double.
also arrives in Radiant Garden, spotting a young girl being harassed by Unversed. Aqua steps in to protect her, and an also arriving Mickey Mouse jumps in wielding his Keyblade to assist. The two then fight side by side to defeat the threat,
Iria.
introducing themselves afterwards. Aqua tells Mickey that she can sense light within the girl, and they theorize that the Unversed must have been drawn to it. Mickey agrees to help protect the girl, but his star shard suddenly teleports him away. The girl, named Kyrie, then gives Aqua a bouquet of flowers she picked as thanks.
Cute.
As Kyrie's grandmother appears to collect her, Aqua casts a magic spell on the girl, telling her that one day, if she ever falls into trouble, the light in her heart will lead her to the light of another. Shortly after,
I remember seeing that when playing Birth by Sleep, and my thought was, hold on. Irie's not from Destiny Island? Could incense still affect both Ventus and Vanitas at the same time when part connect light and darkness part of Ventus? Yeah, so I guess like Vanitas, like you never see his face for a long time, right? So this doesn't have a form yet. Yeah. That's literally what I was about to say too. Yeah. Vanitas doesn't really have a form. You don't see his face or anything like that. So I guess he could have fully formed and realized his physical form and stuff like that after the fact. Excuse me, sorry.
Ventus, Aqua, and Terra reunite to fight off a massive enemy. Afterwards, Aqua warns Terra that he's getting too close to the darkness. Terra, offended that Ericus had her spy on him, decides to go off on his own to fight the darkness.
Of course.
Ventus, also upset that Aqua is only there to take him home, also runs off after Terra, telling the Keyblade Master that
Ventus is dead-eyed, but Sora is alive.
her new title is going to her head. As Terra walks off,
I'm realizing Terra and Ventus are just very emotional people who are taking things just personal. And this is why there is not a master. And Ventus as well, obviously.
he encounters Bragg, who claims to have Xehanort held captive beneath the Outer Gardens. Skeptical but curious, Terra decides to investigate. To his surprise, he finds Master Xehanort chained up. Bragg then arrives and challenges Terra to a battle. When Terra is initially overpowered, Xehanort shouts for him to not disappoint Master Ericus by losing. Fueled by determination, Terra summons his Keyblade, and the darkness within him erupts, manifesting in a powerful attack that damages Bragg's right eye and breaks Xehanort's chains. The wounded Bragg flees, and Xehanort congratulates Terra for channeling the power of darkness.
Crazy hops.
Aware that Terra can no longer return to Master Ericus, Xehanort offers to mentor him, emphasizing the need to balance light and darkness rather than destroy one with the other.
I need to find a better.
He flatters Terra, acknowledging his
mic.
potential as a
mic
Keyblade
on.
master, even if Ericus does not. Terra ultimately accepts Xehanort's offer and agrees to continue searching for
It just
Vanitas.
falls all the way down.
After Terra leaves, Brig returns to Xehanort, upset that their plan to awaken the darkness within Terra ended up injuring him, something the man didn't sign up for. When Xehanort draws his Keyblade in response, Brig backs down, simply asking the old man to hold up his end of their bargain. Meanwhile, Ventus protects another one of Radiant Garden's inhabitants.
But the delay sucks. So sorry for late responses. All good. All good. The delay that bad? Damn. I thought I had the delay pretty good, to be honest with you. Sucks. Well. What was I say? But his Keyblade, Xehanort's Keyblade, was originally the Master of Masters, which was given to Lushu. Something about Zigbar and Lushu just a moment ago, but I don't remember how you worded the question. Question I would say you asked. What did I say? I don't remember. I think the last question I said about Zigbar and Lushu. I don't remember. I don't remember. I need to look at the delay thing. I thought I had a pretty good like low latency or whatever to help prevent the delay being that bad, but maybe I don't.
A young orphaned boy named Ienzo from attacking unversed. After, Ienzo is collected by Evan, who takes the boy back to the world's tower while giving Ventus Terra's location. Ventus finds Terra, who tells him that while Ven cannot come with him on his current journey, he knows Ventus will be there when he really needs him. Elsewhere on Radiant Garden, Aqua surprisingly comes across Vanitas, sparking a battle. After Aqua defeats the masked boy, he again escapes into a corridor of darkness. Ventus then arrives and tells her that Terra had left.
You're doing it now? Doing what?
Forcing her to leave as well. Ventus begs her to let him go with her, but like Terra, Aqua declines, instead hoping to keep her young friend out of harm's way. As Aqua leaves, the disappointed Ventus sulks.
Keep going with Lushu and the Keyblade. Oh, I see what you're saying. So, what did I say? Man, the delay really is that bad, huh? 112. Lushu. I don't know. I don't remember. I guess I would ask. How did Xehanort get the Keyblade? The eye Keyblade, whatever, because that was from the Master of Masters, and then that was given to Lushu, and Lushu would give that to. It was bequeathed. Xehanort bequeathed it? I kind of remember that actually. So I think, if I remember correctly, yeah, I think if I remember correctly, man, there's so much information. And it's only an hour and 12 in. Lucia was given the Keyblade. Yeah, he was given the Keyblade by the Master Masters. He was told to bequeath it down to his descendants or whatever. or maybe not descendants, but whatever. He bequeathed that one. The first one was given to, I don't remember, given to who gave it to Xehanort? Odin, the master, had to have given it to Xehanort. Yeah, I think he retired after naming Xehanort and Eric as masters, and he had to have bequeathed it down to him. I don't know who gave it to him though. Odin. I never said yes. And Luciu and Breg has some kind of connection, right? Yeah, yeah. Breg and Luciu are the same person. Right? I think Luciu has just been body hopping basically, taking vessels. I think Breg is Luciu. There's one and the same person.
while holding a wooden mock keyblade given to him by Terra. Two other inhabitants, two boys named Lee and Isa, then arrive, and the boisterous Lee notices the toy sword, challenging
Another
Ventus
two
to
of the
a
13.
mock battle. After Ventus wins, his new friends have to get going, leaving him alone once again. Later, Ventus, Terra, and Aqua all separately visit the Disney Town world, where
Dude, I
they meet
forgot about
Queen
that
Minnie
world.
Mouse as well as the villainous Pete. Pete is eventually exiled from the world due to his deeds and finds himself in the lanes between.
Kind of
There
messed up
he is
actually.
discovered by Maleficent, who offers her help in escaping his current predicament if he assists her.
Who again was looking at Xehanort as the one. Right. Who again was looking at Xehanort as right. Yeah. Yeah, Luciu thought Xehanort was the one. And he was like, nah, looks like it wasn't. But he can still be pretty useful. At this point, though, I don't know if Luciu even knows his original thing was from like his quest from the Master of Masters was to just observe, right? It was just like, hey, just watch and protect this chest that has hope in it. Uh, he's not just watching anymore.
In conducting her plan, and he excitedly agrees. Maleficent then summons a corridor of darkness, which Pete enters, vanishing for the time being. While traversing through more worlds in pursuit of Terra, Aqua is eventually confronted by Vanitas once again. Vanitas, who had recovered Ventus's wooden keyblade, mocks the childish toy and breaks it, angering Aqua.
Dad,
The two then fight,
that was a
and
cool
while
toy.
Aqua is eventually able to finally defeat the masked boy, he escapes once again as she passes out from exhaustion. Meanwhile, King Mickey loses his star shard, which Ventus later finds and recovers. Back at the mysterious
Good old
tower,
Tinkerbell.
Mickey Mouse's assistants, Donald Duck and Goofy, await their king's return. They spot his star shard, but its user is quickly revealed to be Ventus, who arrives via the shard's teleportation abilities. Goofy and Donald usher Ventus into the tower, where the boy speaks with his master's old friend, Yen Sid. With Mickey's location now unknown, Yen Sid casts a spell to see where he currently is, discovering him to be in danger in the
Luciu, Breg. That is why I believe he gave the Keyblade to Xehanort, and I think he looked into the Book of Prophecy. Okay. Gave the Keyblade to Xehanort. But didn't Odin have it? Or did he just like take it from Odin? Yeah, because their master had it. He had it like on the mantle above. I remember that. I remember him summoning it. Their master Odin. He summoned that Keyblade. I believe was something he shouldn't be doing, but I can't remember. Yeah, I mean, looking at the Book of Prophecy definitely isn't just observing. He definitely looked at the Book of Prophecy and seeing that there was a child who like it was like they were like caring, they could see, they could feel, or something like that, and he thought it was Xehanort. What did they say that person would do? They would come from Destiny Islands, and they would. No, that's what the partner did, or the player. The player knew all of that because of the book, and that's why they took Xehanort to whatever Destiny Islands. Why did Lushu probably also looked at the Book of Prophecy? I don't remember.
Badlands.
I'll have
the
to go back
Keyblade
and look at all
Graveyard.
the look at those
Ventus
areas.
recognizes the landscape and offers
That whole beginning part, and it's probably because I just never played any of it, of the mobile game and stuff like that. So all that story is very brand new to me, and it's very confusing, which is told not to. True. Um, yeah, that this whole like the whole like beginning before Birth by Sleep started, I was so confused throughout most of it.
to rescue the king, vowing to return Mickey's favor. Elsewhere, Terra is traveling through the lanes between when he's suddenly drawn by the light to the Destiny Islands.
Of
There,
course.
Terra spots two young boys named Sora and Riku.
Yeah, I know them.
Sora, as it turns out, is the boy whose heart touched Ventus's and allowed him to recover before he was even born. Terra then senses light.
Sora wasn't even born yet? Wait, how does that make sense? Hold up. Sora wasn't. But he touched Ventus's heart. So, so Sora looks like Sora because of Ventus, not as a Vanitas. Vanitas doesn't look like Sora because of Sora. Sora looks like Sora because of Vanitas.
Within Riku, who, much like a young Xehanort, longs to see the outside world. Believing that one day the boy will have the strength to be a Keyblade wielder, Terra bequeaths Riku with the ability to one day summon his own.
Ah, bequeath.
After Terra leaves, Aqua is similarly summoned to the Destiny Islands by the power of light. There, she also meets Sora and Riku. Aqua notes Sora's resemblance to Ventus, as well as Riku's similarity to Terra. While she considers bequeathing Sora, she realizes someone has already performed the ceremony with Riku and decides that one Keyblade is enough for any friendship. Instead, she tasks Sora with protecting Riku and ensuring he never travels down a dark path. Meanwhile, Ventus reaches the
I was so giddy and stuff when I first played that.
Keyblade Graveyard and finds an unconscious Mickey. Suddenly, Master Xehanort appears and Ventus's memories begin to flood back. Xehanort then reveals his plan to forge a copy of the Keyblade by forcing Ventus and Vanitas, beings of pure light and pure darkness respectively.
It was a newborn? Oh. Never mind then.
To battle. He then summons a vortex of darkness, which sweeps up Mickey and Ventus. Xehanort then calls Terra to meet him at the Keyblade graveyard, where the old man tricks him into believing Ventus is on his way home to force the truth of his origins out of Master Ericus. As Terra flies off to return to the land of departure, Ventus arrives there himself and begins to question Ericus. Ventus accuses Ericus of containing him within a prison and not allowing him to go off on his own out of fear of him becoming the Keyblade. Ericus immediately realizes that Xehanort had never given up on his plan to summon Kingdom Hearts, and recognizes that while he couldn't stop his old friend the day he scarred him, he has to do so now. Suddenly, Ericus draws his Keyblade, revealing that the only way he believes he can stop Xehanort now is to eliminate Ventus before he can use him to create the Keyblade.
So sad.
Before he can attack, Terra arrives and steps between them. Shocked and angered at his master, Terra refuses to step aside when Ericus instructs him to. Master Ericus then sheds a tear and prepares to deliver the same fate to both of his pupils. As Terra holds off the attack,
Blue Gown was just a caretaker for Xehanort. It's in speculation who that person was. I'm pretty sure it said that the blue-robed person was like the player in the original, right? The just like the player character. The player was given the option to like release or to meld his heart, and they'd be like reincarnated essentially. And so his heart was placed into another, and then the player, took Xehanort because he thought he was the chosen one to Destiny Islands. And then after raising him there, essentially he was like, told him everything, told him the whole prophecy or whatever, and then kind of gave his heart up and passed on or whatever. From what I remember, that's what this video says.
he soon finds the experienced Keyblade Master too powerful for him to handle alone. Terra then allows the darkness into his heart, and he opens a portal to send Ventus to safety before challenging Master Ericus to a battle, one-on-one. While the battle is hard fought on both sides, Terra is ultimately able to mortally wound his former instructor. In the wake of the battle, Ericus uses his final moments to apologize to Terra, taking responsibility for the darkness within it. Expressing his regret for turning his Keyblade on Terra and Ventus, Master Ericus realizes that his own heart is darkness. Suddenly, a dark pulse shoots through Ericus, and he drops his Keyblade. As Terra tries to catch his falling master, Ericus disappears as his body fades into
Dude, what a sad moment that was.
Master Xehanort observes Terra's grief and taunts him, pushing the young man to embrace his anger and darkness fully. He then invites Terra to face him at the Keyblade graveyard, where he threatens the lives of both Ventus and Aqua. Xehanort then unleashes darkness upon the land of departure before escaping away in a corridor of darkness. As Terra watches the destruction of his home, he vows to protect his friends and flies away from the land of departure for the last time. Meanwhile, Ventus emerges from the other end of the portal opened by Terra, finding himself on the Destiny Islands. There, he's confronted by Vanitas, who tries to goad him into joining together to create the Keyblade. Ventus refuses to fight, knowing that doing so will complete Xehanort's plan, forcing Vanitas to similarly challenge Ventus to a battle at the Keyblade graveyard, threatening Terra and Aqua's life before disappearing. As Terra and Ventus make their way to the Keyblade graveyard for their final battles, Aqua discovers the unconscious Mickey Mouse in the lanes between.
Kingdom Hearts lore, the Blue Gown figure who served as Xehanort's caretaker during his childhood on Destiny Islands was a reincarnation of the Keyblade wielder from the Age of Fairy Tales. Yeah, which I think in this he just refers as the player, because it's the Keyblade wielder. It's like the player character in the mobile game or whatever, the like brown-haired person. player was this reincarnation. Yeah, exactly. Which is really cool.
Aqua rescues.
Do you think when they wrote Kingdom Hearts, when they've made the first game, right, in whatever it was like 2001, 2000, 2002, somewhere around there, do you think that they had all of this already mapped out and planned? Or did they kind of add it along as they were going and had to make it all make sense?
Him, bringing Mickey to the mysterious tower where she meets with Yen Sid. Yen Sid regretfully informs Aqua that he's learned of Master Ericus's death at the hands of Xehanort and Terra. Learning that Terra is currently at the Keyblade graveyard, she also heads there to learn the truth about her master's fate. There, Aqua finds Terra standing among the masses of fallen Keyblades, and he admits that he mistakenly helped Xehanort strike down Master Ericus. Ventus soon joins them and fills them in on Xehanort's plan to use him and Vanitas to create the Keyblade. Terra and Aqua promise to help Ventus, but he asks that if it goes too far, they put an end to him. Master Xehanort and Vanitas then arrive, and the trio don their armor, preparing for a fight. As the group charge at Xehanort, however, he's able to use his powers to manipulate the landscape and separate them, sending flying Keyblades at them.
No other person in Kingdom Hearts has ever had that kind of power. Like, you don't see Dora or Riku or anyone running around being an earthbender, summoning the freaking ground of making pillars and stuff, right? What the heck? Yeah, the end played out, I believe. What I've researched. He had like a rough. He know how he wanted to end it. He had the beginning, and he kind of had like a rough like storyboard of like the middles probably. I'm sure he had to change a lot throughout going along. No one else has ever had this kind of power to be able to do that.
Aqua and Terra struggle against the onslaught, while Vanitas targets Ventus. In the ensuing chaos, Xehanort captures Ventus, freezing him in ice and dropping him off of a cliff.
So crazy.
Aqua catches him, while Xehanort conjures a magical orb and shoots it into the...
I think this is the coolest battle in all of Kingdom Hearts that I've seen and played. Is this whole sequence. The Keyblade Graveyard battle between Xehanort and those three.
Sky. The clouds then part and reveal Kingdom Hearts looming above the Keyblade Graveyard, ready for its counterpart to be reforged. Terra, filled with rage, removes his helmet and charges at Xehanort and Vanitas, determined to protect his friends. Meanwhile, Aqua holds Ventus as Braig arrives and taunts them, prompting a simultaneous battle between him and Aqua. In the midst of Terra's battle, Xehanort continues to taunt him, goading the young man.
No, he is going along and making it up as he goes. That's even funnier, though. I love that. No wonder it's so complex and confusing, because he doesn't even know where it's going.
Man's frustration to allow the darkness to empower him more as the pair battle.
I'm sure he had an idea of how he wanted the story to end. It was just the middle bit. He was probably like, I'm not so sure. Kind of wing it.
One-on-one. As Aqua defeats Braig, the man runs off, noting that he's done his job to buy Xehanort time.
Agreed.
Suddenly, Vanitas ambushes Aqua, striking her with his Keyblade as Ventus is forced to watch in his frozen state. As Vanitas prepares to deliver the final blow, however, Ventus is able to summon all of his will to break free and protect her, prompting a battle with the darkness that once inhabited his own heart. After Ventus defeats Vanitas in battle, the latter finally removes his mask, preparing to join their bodies to forge the Keyblade. Vanitas then summons Unverse to subdue Ventus before merging with him, causing a powerful surge of energy to form around them. Aqua's body is thrown over a hill by the surge of energy, which grows more and more. Ventus struggles to control the overwhelming power, but it unleashes a massive orange beam that shoots into the sky, enveloping the boy. Master Xehanort and Terra see the orange beam, and the old man proclaims that the Keyblade has been reforged, and declares that it is time for the final union, turning his Keyblade and slowly thrusting it into his own chest, causing a beam of light to shoot out. Terra, shocked, watches as Xehanort's body glows and an orb of light floats out, containing the essence of the old man's heart. Xehanort's old body then fades away as his heart enters Terra, who is now encased in darkness despite a last-second attempt to don his Keyblade armor. Emerging from the armor, Terra's hair turns silver, his voice deepens, and Xehanort, now in Terra's body, declares the dominance of darkness, summoning his Keyblade. As this new vessel, which I'll from now on call Terra Xehanort,
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 has good fight scenes too. Oh, I believe it. I believe it has this level of fight scenes. This is just the best that I've seen. Like, just the cinematic of it, the moments of, like, catching Ventus and, like, freezing his body and dropping it. And the just, like, the pillars of earth and the whole, like, Keyblades being surfed on and stuff like that. It's so cool.
Begins to walk away, Terra's discarded armor reassembles and kneels with its Keyblade, resisting Xehanort's control. Despite Xehanort's efforts, this lingering will of Terra's stands and engages in combat with its former inhabitant. Meanwhile, Aqua remains unconscious, floating somewhere between realms. As she dreams of Ventus's plea to put an end to him to prevent Xehanort from obtaining the Keyblade, Aqua awakens back in the Keyblade graveyard to find Mickey Mouse beside her. She stands up to spot Ventus nearby, and she rushes over to find the dazed boy wielding the reforged, new Keyblade. Ventus then looks over at her to reveal yellow eyes and an evil intent, as this union of he and Vanitas then attacks Aqua, forcing Mickey to jump in. The pair then fight side by side to take on this Ventus-Vanitas union. Summoning the power of her friendships with Ventus and Terra, Aqua clutches her good luck charm and delivers a final strike, causing a chain reaction that frees Ventus from Vanitas once more before the Keyblade self-destructs.
Prop this up.
In the ensuing blast of energy, Aqua and Ventus are blown away, but Aqua is able to grab Ven's hand at the last moment. Meanwhile, Terra Xehanort is knocked unconscious by Terra's lingering will inside the armor, before it plunges the Keyblade into the ground and kneels once more. The massive blast of energy from the Keyblade then engulfs Terra Xehanort.
Have you heard the starter music yet of Kingdom Hearts 3? Yeah. It's I don't remember the name of it, but I've definitely heard it. Here's the thing, crazy. I own Kingdom Hearts 3. I bought it when it came out. I actually like pre-ordered it and everything. And I played a little bit of it when it first came out. And like stuff happened to something. I don't remember what was going on. I just didn't. I only got like maybe like few worlds in, and then I just never got back to it, unfortunately, for whatever reason. Yeah. So I started the game. I've never finished it. I don't even think I was like halfway through the game, to be honest. So maybe I made it halfway through. I don't remember, but I don't really remember anything about it. So but I just bought it on PC a couple days ago so that I could stream it. And I'm excited to do that. I'm very excited to stream Kingdom Hearts 3. Like I said, I just did a run of Kingdom Hearts 2. And the run started. I have like 10 parts on the channel. The run started with me wanting to 100% the game and just, do everything in the game. But then it kind of morphed into, actually, I kind of only wanted just to get all the treasure chests and then all the like puzzle pieces. And then kind of just anything else that I wanted to do. There's 10 parts of me doing that, beating the game. I will probably revisit that playthrough and continue doing other stuff like beating like Sephiroth, beating Lingering Will, maybe I'll beat like the data battles and the mushrooms. I ended the thing. I was gonna do the mushrooms. I started doing them, and then there was this one, the one with Mulan, which is supposed to be like an easier one to do, and I did it for like 20-30 minutes and I could not do it. And I was getting so mad. So like I just quit. So I plan to revisit that playthrough for sure, but just one-off things to do it here and there, like finishing up optional stuff,
Its body and the armored figure in light.
I do not like the attractions part of the fighting. I had to turn it off. Yeah, I think I'll probably do that as well. I think I didn't like that either. Maybe I'll leave it on for like the first session or so, just to like experience it, But then I'll probably turn it off. I thought about. I'm 100% too. Nice. I thought about looking at mods for Kingdom Hearts 3 and like seeing if there's any like quality of life stuff that people recommended that didn't like impact the game in any way, any major way, but it just added that like little quality of life that's needed, But I don't know, maybe not. I haven't decided.
Terra's
Probably
remaining
not.
consciousness has a fleeting vision of Ventus and Aqua before fading away. The clouds around Kingdom Hearts close and hide it away once again, with Terra's armor still kneeling alone.
What is Kingdom Hearts again? Like, what exactly is Kingdom Hearts? I don't really remember what it is.
Inside of Ventus's own heart, he again fights off Vanitas' influence, having one final battle of heart. In the wake of this battle, Vanitas finally disappears, as does the Keyblade and his own Keyblade. Unfortunately, this takes a heavy toll on Ventus's heart, causing it to leave his body to seek refuge, leaving him in a comatose state. Mickey is luckily able to find Aqua and Ventus's unconscious bodies, and he brings them back to the mysterious tower. When Aqua awakens, she speaks with Yen Sid, learning of Ventus's sleeping heart. Aqua and Mickey then promise to keep believing in Ventus, hoping that when his heart awakens, it will be able to find his friends. Aqua then takes Ventus's body back to the land of departure, now lying in ruin. Aqua takes Master Ericus's fallen Keyblade and places Ventus inside of the tower's throne room. She then uses Ericus's Keyblade to lock the world away.
Yeah, I knew something had to do on the back of the throne. I don't really remember. Couldn't remember why, but yeah, I knew something was on the back of the chair.
Transforming it into one known as Castle Oblivion. She then leaves her friend there to rest as she exits to search for Terra. Aqua then travels to Radiant Garden, where she finds the Terra Xehanort Union. While Terra's heart...
I've not looked into mods yet. I did just purchase it on PC a week ago. Dang, yeah. We're kind of aligned the same on purchasing then of the game, because I just bought Kingdom Hearts 3 like a couple days ago on PC. Yeah, I thought about the mods though. I thought about looking into them. I probably won't just for, you know, just cuz.
Tries to fight for control, Xehanort maintains his hold over his body. Aqua is then forced to fight Terra Xehanort, and during the fierce battle, Xehanort, inside of his new vessel, summons a hulking dark figure to act as his guard.
Seems a lot like Kingdom Hearts 1, doesn't it? He really should have Xehanort, Terra Xehanort. He should have said Terranort. Missed opportunity. The heart of all worlds.
Unbeknownst to Aqua, Terra's heart is caged within this guardian.
But what's the heart of all worlds?
Despite the powerful opposition, Master
Is that
Aqua
what Kingdom Hearts
is able
is?
to defeat Terra Xehanort in battle, allowing Terra to again fight for control. Terra Xehanort then turns his Keyblade on himself, as Xehanort tries to force what remains of Terra's heart out of their body. The dark figure appears behind them once again, before it falls into a swirling portal of darkness. Terra Xehanort then falls in afterwards, forcing Aqua to jump in to follow just before it closes. Inside the fall to darkness, Aqua grabs Terra Xehanort's hand, not allowing the darkness to have her friend. Sacrificing herself, Aqua gives the unconscious Terra Xehanort her Keyblade and armor, allowing him to return to the realm of light as she falls to the realm of darkness. Aqua simply apologizes aloud to Ventus, knowing that it might take her a little longer to get back to him now. Meanwhile, on Destiny Islands, Sora and Riku watch the skies on the beach. Suddenly, Sora begins to cry, as something inside of him begins to feel sadness, but he doesn't know what. Riku advises him to open his heart and listen, and Sora agrees to try. In Castle Oblivion, Ventus's body sits in the Chamber of Waking, as he hears the young Sora's voice speak to him. Inside of Sora's heart, the light of Ventus's heart finds its way to him, and Ventus asks the boy if...
But what does it do? Like, everyone wants to summon it, right? And, like, take control of it or something. But, like, what does it do? Do you summon Kingdom Hearts? You have to then get the Keyblade, right? The X-Blade or whatever. The Keyblade. Then does that unlock Kingdom Hearts and give you, like, ultimate power over all the worlds? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is.
he can stay with him to heal. Sora agrees and accepts Ventus into his heart, remarking to Riku that he thinks it worked.
I remember all that.
Radiant Garden, Braig discovers Terra Xehanort's unconscious body and leads the world's Sage King, Ansem the Wise, to him. The young man awakens and introduces himself as Xehanort. Braig takes him to the castle, while another guard, Dylan, takes Aqua's Keyblade and armor. In the realm of darkness, Aqua wanders alone and begins to lose hope. Before she can fade into the darkness, however, the bonds she formed with all of her friends reignite the light, and she presses on. Inside of Terra Xehanort's heart, Master Xehanort taunts Terra, claiming that darkness now controls him. Terra refuses to surrender, however, asserting that he has a plan to regain control. Xehanort then recognizes Ericus residing within Terra, and they each express their readiness to resolve their property dispute. Xehanort notes that this is only one of the roads he can take, as he's made sure of backup plans. Sometime later, Terra Xehanort takes up residence in the tower on Radiant Garden, having forgotten all of his memories due to the battle over his heart. Braig, believing the amnesia to be a ruse, takes him aside and tries to speak with him, but quickly finds the memory loss to be legitimate. Braig then pats him on the back and assures this Xehanort that he's got his back. Meanwhile, Ienzo and Ansem the Wise walk through a neighboring hall, holding hands and eating sea salt ice cream. Just before they turn a corner, Ienzo stops and looks back, catching sight of Braig and Terra Xehanort walking away together. Ansem, noticing Ienzo's pause, also looks back at the two figures walking away. Ansem the Wise then begins to experiment.
Okay. This is when we get into Kingdom Hearts 2. Right? Andrew drop distance a bit. No. Okay. The most played right here. Most replayed bit is Kingdom Hearts 2 stuff. Kingdom Hearts is the first original light separating the world from the darkness, and that was born. The world from the darkness that was born in. Light came life, and life contained hearts. A unique product of Kingdom Hearts. Okay. Hour and a half in. Wow, this is going to take a long time. I've been live for 2.5 hours, so that means the first probably 10, 15 minutes I was talking. But then pausing, I've added a solid hour. Which is fine, because this is what I wanted to do. That being said, I am tired and I have work in the morning. So I think this is where I'm going to end off right here. I think this is a good stopping point. Just finish the Birth by Sleep bit. Hour and a half in. At this point, it'll probably take me like 5 sessions to do this, to get through all of this. This is fun. I like doing this. This is very fun. I love Kingdom Hearts. I love learning the lore of it all. And then being able to afterwards play 3 to finish it all up is going to be super, super cool. To do this, a tool was required. The Keyblade, that weapon had the power to unlock Kingdom Hearts and control its light, but had been destroyed to prevent misuses as inspiration for Keyblades. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's kind of what I thought. Anyways, be sure to visit this guy's channel. It is Suggestive Gaming. Super cool, super well done video. It looks like he put a ton of love into it. So definitely show some love to his channel. Go subscribe. If you want to watch this, watch it. Other than that, if you've enjoyed hanging out, if you've enjoyed yelling and want to come back, please do so. Like and subscribe. Or just subscribe, I guess. Whatever. I don't only do this, obviously. I also play Kingdom Hearts. I also play other games. I have a run of Final Fantasy IX that I'm doing. I've done like 2 or 3 parts so far. And it is my first ever playthrough. I've never played through Final Fantasy IX. Loving it so far. I've also, me and another friend of mine are about to, hopefully soon, hopefully the next few days, start a co-op run, a co-op run of The Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker. We got a mod to play it co-op, and that should be super fun. Super stoked about that. But yeah, I think after I watch all of this, or almost all of this, up until Kingdom Hearts 3, I will start my Kingdom Hearts 3 playthrough. And that'll be like the main thing I do, with the other games kind of thrown in from time to time when I play with my friends, or when I just need like a break or something. I'll play like Final Fantasy 9 or something like that. So if you want to keep hanging out, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, that's it. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, you guys.